Hey guys, it's Kayla Waller with Waller Adventures, and today I'm going to show you some basic, simple fishing rigs that I like to use. So stick around and I'll show you how to make them. So this video is basically for the beginner, amateur fisherman, fisherwoman who just wants to learn some new rigs, maybe a couple new knots, maybe some tricks. So if you are a professional expert fisherman, you're probably going to look at this and be like, oh my God, this is really basic stuff. It is basically for the amateur inexperienced fisherman that just wants to learn some cool stuff. All right, so I got my tackle box and all my stuff laid out, and I got my 2 fishing poles. So let's get started. So my favorite rig to use is a high and low rig. I use it about 70% of the time. But it is so simple and so easy to make. Normally they come like this. You can buy them in a metal rig. This is kind of like a high and low rig. It's the only one I have right now. But you have one like this, and then you'll have another piece of metal come out from the bottom with the 2 beads on it. But my dad uses the metal ones all the time. I don't mind the metal ones, but like this one's getting rusty and gross, and it's just, it looks, like I said, it looks gross. But also my theory, and from what I've done with research, you can kind of like, fish can see this in the water because it's metal, you know. So I started making my own high and low rigs, and I did some research and watched some videos and learned how to tie them. So that's what I'm going to show you now. All right, so the first thing I'm actually going to show you first is the swivel. This is going to be your basic connection to your reel and to your rig. So I have big, huge swivels like this. I actually have these for shark fishing. As you can see here, I actually have the equipment for shark fishing. I just don't have the correct fishing pole. You need a fishing pole and a rig that holds 80-pound line, which I do not have right now. But in the state of Florida, you have to have a permit to shark fish on the beach, which I do have. It's free. You just have to take a class and take a test, and you get them, and it will just go automatically on your fishing license for Florida. If you're interested in that, I will put a link in the description below. But here is a swivel. I have my smaller swivels that I normally use for fishing, but for demonstration purposes, I will show you on the bigger one. All right, so this is the one I've been using. Also, as a tip, you have all my spools of fishing line. I like to put painter's tape to hold the line, and it works really well. All right, so I'm gonna stick that on that. All right, so I got 50-pound line. If you can see it against that. So there are 2 ways that I've been doing this, connecting the swivel to your line and to your rig. I've been doing a general surgeon's knot. So you have your line and you want to put it in a loop, then you just put the loop together and you put a knot in your line like so, and boom, it is together. And this is what I've been doing. I've been doing it like that. Just slip it through the eye, around the whole thing, and pull it through. So it sits there like this. And then I just cut the extra line off. So that's how I've been doing my knots. You can also do them in this way. Let me get another thing of line. You might not be able to see this one, but I got a clear one. So you want to stick your line through the hole. I'll give you enough extra, and you wound your extra around your main line that is going to your rig or to your fishing pole. And you want to do it about 7 to 8 times. So once you have it wrapped around, you want to go back under through this hole. You go through like so, and you see it makes a circle. You want to go back through it and just pull it through. So you can see, here, you can put my finger behind it. You can see the knot. Normally I will do another knot on top of it, like so, just to hold it in place. And then you just cut off the extra. So you can either do both ways. You can do the surgeon knot, or you can do the other knot. It's, you know, whatever your preference is. Alright, so those are the 2 different knots I like to use for fishing. I'm going to show you how I do the high and low rig. I'm going to use some red line so you can see it. So I keep my line on the spool and set it off to the side. And then you want to get the end right here and just make a surgeon's knot just like I showed you, like so. Boom. Then this will either be where your weight is or where you connect it to your swivel. So you can see where the line actually wants to curl on its own, as you can see. If I can get it working, there you go. So you got your loop, correct? You hold it in your hand like so, and you see three lines, right? You got your top, your middle, and your bottom. Your bottom one should be the bottom of the loop, like you can see. So these top 2 lines, you want to put them between your fingers and just wrap them around each other, like so. I do it about a couple of times, probably about 6, 7, 8 times, just depends. Like so. Then you have this bottom line, you see. You want to pull it through, and this is where it gets gross. So I have my bottom line right here in my finger, and you just want to put it in your teeth and pull it like so. And you get this nice little knot right there. You can see all the line is stacked on top of each other. Then you have this nice loop. So this loop is actually this part of your metal high-low rig. So this is that part, if you can see. Right, so I'm going to move down my line a little more, and I'm going to do another one. So you have your loop between your fingers, and you got the bottom of the loop at the bottom, and then the 2 tops. You take the 2 tops, roll it around each other. Then you have that opening, that hole. You bring this line up. Then you stick it in your teeth, like so. You pull it tight until it does like this, and you got another spot for your hook. Then at the end of your line, you want to give it a good snip. So you're done with your spool, and you got your line, and you want to do another surgeon's knot, like so. Alright, so you have your high and low rig, as you can see. Maybe, I don't know. So this is how I put it on my line. You got the end of your line that's connected to your fishing pole, and you want to do another surgeon's knot, like so. Bonk. Then you want to put your swivel on it, like this. So you got your swivel on your line, you can see. Then you want to put your high and low rig through it. Put it through the other eye on your swivel, and then you can just take it all the way through, like so. there, like that, and it's on there. Love it. You can see I have the weight on there with the surgeon's knot. So there are different ways and different things you can put on your line. I have beads that I like to put on there. I also use them for other things, which I will show you later. But I got your basic, they're just jewelry beads. They're glass beads. And you can take whatever color you want, it doesn't matter. And you can just put it through the hole. If I can see the hole. Sometimes you might have to really, really pinch the end, like so. Alright, there you go. Now I got it to cooperate. So you can put your bead through there, like so. And you can put 1, 2, 3, however many you want. But the purpose of putting a bead there, you can put the glass bead, they even sell like the neon green and neon orange ones. But it's to have something shiny in the water and bright so the fish can see it. So you can put however many you want to on there. Then I'm going to grab my hook. I like to use circle hooks because they like to set themselves. But for today, I'm just going to use a bigger hook so you can actually see it. Alright, so you want to stick it through the hole and you just loop it around. It's just that simple. And there you go. You got one on there, and I'll show you another way I like doing it. Alright, so you got your top one right here. I also like using floaters. I'll show you those. So I got 2 different colors of floaters. I got like an orange candy one, and I got a pink one. So I'm going to put the orange one on there right quick. Let me see. There's a hole in the back of it. You just there's a hole in the back and the top. Sorry, it's really hot. Alright, you just want to stick it through like so. And it comes out the back. Then you grab another hook like so. And you stick it through, wrap it around, and boom. And there you go. So you got a hook with a floater, and you got a hook with a bead. So you can see the rig on your pole. You got your swivel, your top one with the floater, then you got your bottom one with the bead, and you got your weight. So it sits there like this. Well, you can't really tell it's long, but it sits there like this. Alright, so the next rig I'm going to show you is a Carolina rig. It's the other rig that I use a lot. I really like it. It's really simple to make. So I'm going to show you how to make that. Alright, so I got the end of my line that's connected to my fishing pole. I'm actually going to show you 2 ways on how I do this. Get a weight first. Alright, so you're going to need an egg sinker like so. And you're going to want to put it on your line. So you have it like this on your line. I also like using these. I actually bought these for shark fishing when I made my own rigs for shark fishing, but they've actually come in handy making Carolina rigs. So I have these little things. And they actually act the same way as the egg sinker does on your line. You just want to slide it through and it sits there like that. But the cool thing about this is you can undo the little latch and you can put any size weight on there. You can just slide it on there and it sits here like this, and it acts the same way as this egg sinker does. So here, I'll show you. So you slide it through. So they both act the same way, so it doesn't really matter. But I've actually started using these a lot more because I can change the weight a little easier. Set off to the side. So I'm going to show you with the egg sinker. Alright, so you want to put your egg sinker on there, and then you want to put in a bead. The reason for putting on a bead is because this bead will protect your knot. Whatever knot you use, but just for time purposes, I'm going to do a sturgeon knot, like so. So when your egg sinker's sitting in the ground, you know, it's going to sit here like this, and if it slides around, that bead is going to protect that knot from that egg sinker tearing it up. Then you want to put on your swivel like so, the same way that I've been showing you, like so, like that. Then you want to get your other line. I'm going to do the same thing for time purposes. You want to put another surgeon's knot, like so, and my line is still connected to my spool of line. Then you want to get maybe about a foot, maybe, or a little less of line. Then you want to cut it. Alright, so you got your line for your hook. Then you want to put it like so, and just run your line through here like that. Alright, now it's attached. And of course you're going to cut off your little excess, your extra line. So you have the end of your fishing line that you're going to put your hook on. I'm actually going to put on a hook, if I can find one. Hopefully I can find one. So you want to stick your line in the eye like so. Pull your line down and make a loop like so. Pull some excess out, so you make a loop at the end of your hook, and you want to hold it with your thumb and pointer finger so it sits there nicely like this. You can see. And you want to wrap your line around the back of the hook like so. Once you do it a couple of times, you want to hold that in and then stick your line through the hole at the bottom that you made with the fishing line. And then if it will cooperate, like so, and then you just want to pull. Alright, so I had to use my teeth to pull it. But you can see how the line likes to, you know, sit there all nicely on top of each other like so, and it holds it pretty tightly. So that way it's sitting on your hook nice, and it's not sitting there all crooked or anything. But yeah, that's how you do that, and that is how you do a Carolina rig. Alright, so the next rig I'm going to show you is so simple. It is the easiest thing I've ever made. It's kind of a fish finding rig, but it is super simple and easy to do. So I'll show you how to do that. Alright, like before, I got my main line here that's connected to my fishing pole. Put it through my swivel, like so. Alright, so set that off to the side. And this is all you have to do for this one. Get some line out, leave enough to connect to your swivel on your fishing pole, and then just take a loop right in the center and make a surgeon's knot, like so. Then you want to get a little more line and then just snip it. And that is it. This is basically it. But you might be asking, like, how do you do everything else? Alright, so let me take this weight off this one since it's right here. I can use it real quick. Alright, so you have your loop, right? You want to stick your weight through the loop like so, and there's your weight. So one end you're going to have connected to your fishing line. I'm just going to do another surgeon's knot just for time, like so. And I'm going to stick it on a fishing pole. Alright, I'm going to take this weight off so I can run this line through here. Alright, so you got that in, and then you want to grab the rest of your line and pull it through like so. Alright, get over that. There you go. Alright, so it should be on there. Yep. So you got it on here like so, as you can see. Then you want to go back down to your little loop here and put on your weight like so. So you have your swivel right here, which is connected to your fishing pole. So your weight's going to sit down like this on the bottom of the water. Then you have this little bit of line. I'm actually going to cut it because I made it a little too big. And I'm just going to do a surgeon's knot because of time. Alright, surgeon's knot. Then you want to put your hook on there. Let me grab another hook. Grab a bigger one so you can see it. You want to put your hook on like so. Like that. So it sits in the water like so, and then your bait will be floating up here. So it's like this. So it's kind of like a Carolina rig, but it's more stationary, quote unquote. You can also use, let me see, I'll show you real quick. So you can actually use one of these weights. It's called a Sputnik, and you want to put the sides up like so, and then when you throw it in the water, it sits and it grabs the sand, so your stuff is not moving around. Like given this will hold it pretty steady in the water, but if it's really choppy, like if you're surf fishing, it's really choppy on a pier, and you want to hold your rig and your line a little tighter, you can use one of these. Alright, so that is your little fish finder rig. So the final rig that I'm going to show you is something that I have learned this past year. I didn't know about it because I normally use this kind of rig when I go freshwater fishing. You could see in the brim fishing video that we did last year. I used a bobber and then a little weight and then a hook. This is kind of the same, but a little more advanced. So I'm going to show you how I make that. So the first thing you're going to want to need is a bobber. I like to use these styrofoam ones. They come in all sizes, things. Like I have this one for like, you know, catfishing and freshwater fishing, things like that. I even have some like this. I got a red one like that. But you're going to want to use one like this. You can put a line through. So I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so you got your line. You want to thread it through your bobber. Like so. There you go. Then you want to put a bead on. Like I said, it could be this glass bead. It could be that bright green, orange bead, the plastic ones. Alright, so you have this bead right here. It's going to protect your bobber from your egg sinker. So you want to put your egg sinker on next. I know this is a pretty big one. But for this, I normally use a 1 ounce or 2 ounce. I don't normally go any bigger than that, but just for purposes of showing you how to do this, I'm going to use that bigger one. Then you want to get another bead. Like so. So it will protect your knot from the egg sinker. And I'm just going to do a surgeon's knot like so for time. Look, put your swivel on, like so. Then you just want to do the same process with your line. For the hook, like so. I'm going to do another surgeon's knot. Let's see. Alright, I'm going to put the surgeon's knot through the end of the swivel, like so. Stick that through, like that. Then I'm going to do another surgeon's knot just to save time as usual. I said that like 500 times in this video, but I'm going to get the comment of like, you know, I don't use I don't use that, you know, that's ridiculous. And I'm going to be like, well, I like doing it because when I'm fishing and I have a line break because or someone gets stuck, like camera operator Jen likes to get stuck a lot and stuff likes to break a lot. So I like to do surgeon's knots because it's quicker instead of sitting there and trying to tie your other knot. And you go like so. So you have your bobber, egg sinker, swivel, and hook. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to make the stopper for your bobber. Because like you can see, most bobbers like this one, you push the bottom and there's a hook and then you put it through the top and it stays there and you can just adjust. Things like that, along the same as the other one, that red one I showed you earlier. Let's see. It's set up the same way, you just push and push and it sits there because it holds it. But this one, you don't have that option. It just sits here and does whatever it wants to. So I'm going to show you how to make a stopper for it. Alright, so you got your line. You don't really need much line. Like so, and cut that. Alright, so it will naturally loop on its own. So you want to make a loop with it. Get your line that you have connected to your fishing pole. And you want to sit it like so. Here, let me get some more slack in my line. Alright. So you want them to sit beside each other like so. And then you take your little access line, your extra line, and you wrap it around all three lines. Your main line that's connected to your fishing pole, and the lines that is for your knot. So you wrap around a couple times and then you just pull like so. Ooh, and it makes this nice little knot right here if you can see it. And then you want to cut off your extra line. Just make sure you cut off your extra line and not your main line because that will suck. I've done that before. Alright. So now you got this nice little knot on here and you can adjust it however you want to on your line. As you can see, it holds it like so. It's pretty neat. So you can adjust it like, you know, you want it that low, you know, you can adjust it to that high and it will stop there. Things like that. It's pretty neat. So that's how you tie a floating rig. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make some simple fishing rigs. If you want to see some of these rigs in action, you can check out my fishing videos on the WA Fishing and Hunting playlist. I know I've used the float rig once or twice in New Smyrna Beach. I mainly use the high and low rig and I switched to the Carolina rig. I haven't really used that fish finding rig. I'm probably going to try it soon. We have a big huge fishing trip coming up in October, and so I might use it then, just experiment. I also have these lures to try out. I'll show you what they look like. So I have lures like this. It's a crab. I'm going to try and use it for maybe some sheep's head. I don't know, it might be too big. We'll see. I'm all about experimenting and trying new things. I also have these fake shrimp ones. As you can see, it's a little stuck together. There you go. Got these little fake shrimps. I'm going to use this on a float rig and see how well it works. So we got a lot of videos, fishing videos in the future that we're going to try. We'll probably get to them either this year or beginning of next year. We'll just see how it works. So leave a comment and let me know if you use the same rigs I use, or you're like, hey, that's cool, I didn't know, thinking of using a surgeon's knot to put my hooks on and my swivel on, because I didn't know about that until I watched some videos on YouTube and they were making surgeon's knots, and I was like, well, that's simple. I can just use that for anything, because all you have to do is just loop it off and loop it on, and it's quick and simple instead of using that other knot. But also, you can leave in the comments your rigs if you want to share with me. I might do another video on other rigs that I learn in the future and share them with you guys. So if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you are, we greatly appreciate it. If you're not, hit that subscribe button. It will help our channel grow. And also hit that bell icon to get notified when we drop videos like this one. Also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. On Facebook, we have a little merch shop where you can get the Beast Box from Rogue Magnetics, and you can get the entry and cookbook. Also in the description below, there will be a link to our bigger shop where you can get cool, awesome Waller Adventures merch. So thanks for watching. See you soon.